They said the old research center on the hill had been abandoned for years. But every night, one window glowed a soft, steady, amber light, like the ember of a thought refusing to fade. Most people ignored it, except for one, a young woman named Elena. Elena had reached a point in life where everything felt stuck. Her job drained her. Her body felt heavy, tense, worn down from years of stress she didn't know how to release. She wasn't sick, but she wasn't well either, living in that gray space where the spark of life dims but doesn't disappear. One evening, after another exhausting day, she climbed the hill toward the glowing window. She didn't know why. Something in her chest simply pulled her, there a quiet intuition she couldn't explain. When she reached the entrance, the door opened with a slow, ancient groan. Inside stood an elderly man in a linen shirt, calm as still water. "I've been expecting you," he said. Elena blinked. "You know me." He shook his head gently. "I know the look of a person who's ready to meet themselves." He motioned for her to follow. The hallways were empty, lit by soft lamps. The air felt strangely warm, as if the building itself breathed. He led her to a circular room at the center of the facility. Its walls were lined with smooth stone, and in the very middle sat a single cushion. "This," he said, "is the silent room." Elena stepped inside and immediately felt the atmosphere change. It was as if the noise of the world had been turned down, not muted, but softened. The room had a heartbeat of its own. The man extended a hand. "My name is Avari, and you are here because something in you is ready to shift." Elena hesitated. "I don't know what I'm supposed to do." Avari smiled. "Good people come here thinking they need instructions, but the truth is simpler. You've spent years thinking the same thoughts, feeling the same emotions, and living the same day over and over. This room helps you change that." He motioned for her to sit. "When you sit here," he said, "you leave behind the world that says you are your past. You become a blank page ready to be written." Elena settled onto the cushion. The room felt impossibly still, like time had paused. Avari spoke softly behind her. "Close your eyes, breathe, not for the mind, for the heart." She inhaled, expecting the usual rush of anxious thoughts, but instead, a strange warmth spread across her chest. A gentle tightening, then a release, as if something deep inside her loosened. "Good," Avari whispered. "Now feel the emotion of the life you want before it exists." Elena frowned. "How can I feel something that isn't real?" Avari chuckled. "Everything that exists began as something that wasn't." He let the silence expand, inviting her inward. Tentatively, Elena searched for a feeling she hadn't experienced in a long time. Joy, not a memory, but a possibility. She imagined what it might feel like to wake each day with excitement instead of dread. She pictured herself healthy, light, vibrant, smiling for no reason other than it felt natural. As she breathed, that imagined feeling deepened not like a fantasy, but like a truth rising from beneath layers of dust. In the darkness behind her closed eyes, a warm golden glow began to form. Soft at first, then brighter, pulsing gently with each heartbeat. Avari's voice drifted into the glow. "That is your future self. Not a dream, but a frequency. The moment you feel it, you begin to become it." Elena wasn't sure how much time passed, minutes, hours, or lifetimes. All she knew was that something inside her was unwinding, reorganizing, shifting. She felt a calm so deep it was almost luminous. At one point she opened her eyes, half expecting the room to look different. It did. The air shimmered faintly, like heat rising from desert sand. Fine particles of light floated in lazy spirals, disappearing as quickly as they formed. The stone walls seemed to pulse with gentle waves, as though responding to her breath. Elena stared, wide-eyed. "Is this normal?" Avari smiled. "When your inner world changes, your perception follows. Most people think they need to wait for life to improve before they feel better. But your body doesn't know the difference between the emotion of a memory and the emotion of a possibility. Once you feel the future now, the body begins to follow." Elena placed a hand over her heart. The glow was still there, not imagined, but alive. "How long will it last?" she asked. Avari said, "Depends on how often you choose it." He guided her to stand. "When you walk out of this room, the world outside will look the same, but you won't be the same walking into it. And that is how reality begins to rearrange." Elena felt lighter not in her body, but in her being. As she stepped outside, the evening sky seemed brighter, the air richer, the sounds clearer. It wasn't the world that had changed. It was her. Over the next days, new habits found her naturally. She woke earlier. She breathed deeper. She felt gratitude for small things she had ignored for years. People at work noticed she seemed different, calmer, warmer, energized in a way they couldn't explain. Opportunities that had been invisible suddenly appeared. Conversations felt smoother. Even her body moved with an ease she hadn't felt since childhood. Every evening, Elena returned to the hill not because she needed the silent room, but because she wanted to honor the place where the shift first began. But one night, after climbing the hill under a violet sky, she found the building dark. The warm amber light was gone. The doors were locked, and on the wood, taped with a simple strip of paper, she found a handwritten note. "You no longer need the room. The room is in you." Elena smiled because she knew it was true. For the first time in her life, she understood that becoming extraordinary wasn't about waiting for miracles. It was about becoming the person who no longer needed them. Thank you for watching.